BuildWealth, and I'm back at it again. I'm here to share information and resources that will help you get started with building wealth. As always, before I hop into things, I'm going to make sure to punch in my website so you will know where to find me. I want you to check me out. If you got questions, let me know. Check out the blogs. I've written a lot. I'm just giving out real good information. And I just want to see what people will do with it. I find that people still they're struggling with some of these, I'll say kind of elementary type of problems, but they are massive issues in their lives. And they're just some of these things that I know we were not exposed to ever. Like, I know our families don't talk money, your friends don't talk money. So you just magically go through life and figure out the money game without some help. And so for this session, I'm calling it, this is why you need to holla at me. And the reason I wanted to label it as such is I do these discovery calls. And some people come through the website, BuildWealth.com. Others come through, referrals from existing clients or just referrals in general. And when people tell me what they want to talk about, I just find it hard to think that it's the top priority. It's sometimes in my view, it's number 10 on the list. But when they reach out to me, it's I need to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, great. So let's talk about that. And then as I'm speaking with people and I ask really good questions, I learn very quickly that what they should be doing ain't what they said they want to talk to me about. I'll give you an example. So this happens quite a bit. I want to learn how to invest. That's usually tops on most people's list. I want to learn how to invest. Should I do stocks? Should I do this? I mean, I get hit with crypto stuff all the time. So cryptocurrencies is one of those. I don't really do it. But, people hit me up and want to talk about, let's just call it investing. And then as I'm kind of asking my question, I will always ask somebody this one question. Are you married and do you have kids? I think those are very important because based on your responses to those two questions will really dictate what things get higher or what things should get pushed higher up on the list. I'll give you a prime example. So I'll ask those two questions. Are you married? Do you have kids? And the reason I'm asking people those questions is, one, I just generally want to know, is it all about you so you can be very selfish in what you do? Or is it I have a significant other to worry about? Or do I have children who I worry about today? But also, whenever I die, I want to make sure they're good. Do I want to leave a legacy? And the reason I ask those two questions is because you're going to do a lot different when you have a spouse and when you have kids, as opposed to when you're single, just looking to mingle. But I know that I won't be able to disrupt generational poverty until more people holler at me. So I'll give you this example again. So the guy, I've actually had a guy and a gal in the past 2 weeks have reached out because they want to talk about retirement and investing, and maybe credit has kind of come up here and there. But as I'm asking these questions about, married, children, I then just say, I know this isn't what you wanted to talk about, but do you have life insurance? And both of them said no. The one guy, he's got 5 kids, no life insurance. The young lady has 3 kids, no life insurance. Not even some through the job. So you want to talk about retirement and how to set up an investment account doing, I don't know, $50 a month. And that's where your attention is versus you got 5 kids and 3 kids respectively. You're not thinking about what happens if you die. This is why people need to holler at me. People are they're so up in arms about well, you're going to sell me insurance, you're going to sell me this, you're going to try to do this. I'm trying to do what's right for you. That's the challenge that it's not just me who has this issue. It's most financial planning practitioners. People come to you and they want one thing, and then all you do is ask some basic questions married and do you have children? And then I say, do you think, and this is how I get people to kind of come into my world, do you think those are still the most important things? You tell me. And most people haven't thought about this because they've never worked with a financial planner. They've never worked with a financial advisor. They've never really taken financial planning very seriously, which again, this is probably why your bank accounts, retirement accounts, investment accounts, I'll just say your balance sheet probably doesn't look that sexy because you've been out here just winging it. There's been no plan. There has just been, I have a job, I get an income, I get some benefits. I take a trip, I have some fun, I'm going to plan a baby shower. Like, we do all the fun stuff of life, but all these fun things that we probably want to do actually cost money. And so for people to not want to understand the money, I don't necessarily need you to be like an expert. And I think that's where we got to draw this kind of fine line of how far do you go with your plan. And so when somebody hollers at me, I want to figure out what it's going to take just so you can achieve your goals. And whether that is something that is very basic in nature or something complicated, I got to figure out what you will and won't do and how I can kind of, jump into the equation and say, hey, stop, let me do this for you while you go do that. Or, you know what, I'm going to have to hold your hand through this process because I think I need you to get like this firm understanding of why you can't get past this roadblock. Like you have this obstacle because you're doing something that I've discovered when we actually have an open and honest discussion. You know, one of the other things that I ask of people is when you meet with me, I want you to be brutally honest about where you are. And again, this is why you got to holler at me because maybe you have not shared your issue with anybody. I know married people who don't tell their spouse shit, especially when it comes to money. You would think they would do it if you said I do, but they don't. So I'm gonna like try to see if I can like get in there. Like I gotta break that barrier, that wall that's stopping you. And it's just like, do you understand what not doing these things will like how that plays out in your life? So it's the strangest thing, but I know it's going to keep happening, is that a lot of people reach out. They have, and I won't even say basic, they just have good questions about a specific product. And then, you know, if they allow me to kind of have some more dialogue, I'll just kind of start asking, you know, I'm kind of poking and prodding, trying to see, well, can I even help this person? Because some people, you know, a lot of things could be answered by doing a quick search online. You know, maybe there's a quick YouTube video. Or even if you talk to me, I still want you to go validate some of the things that I share just so that you know I'm a real professional. That's why you should holler at me. Like, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to tell you exactly what I know, what I don't know. But I still find that when people reach out, their priorities just aren't in order. And that's why we continue to struggle. Like, as a people, like, people who just can't figure it out, they struggle because, one, they haven't gotten the help and told anybody they need help. But two, there's no real game plan. So hit me up if you find yourself in this kind of, I don't know, you kind of feel like you're just in this cycle. Like you wake up, you go to work, you're kind of in this vicious cycle of doing the same thing, never really checking to see if you're doing well, if you're not doing well. And then, you know, another 5 or 10 years goes by and then you're like, you know what? I need to get it together. So this is why I want people to hit me up. And again, maybe it's just a 15-minute phone call. Maybe that's all I get with you. But I'm going to maximize that 15 minutes. Whatever time you're willing to give to me, I'm going to make sure we do as much as we can in that time frame. If you want more, yes, you're going to have to make that investment and we'll do more. But I want to be... I want to be like the guy who I want to stay in the passenger seat. That's it. I got to have you in the driver's seat focused on your financial future and that destination. And I'm just going to sit here with my instructions and some maps and try to do my best to guide you accordingly. And if I can't do it on my own, well, I don't do this by myself. I'm going to have a team of people around you and they're going to be in the back seat. So these are going to be other professionals who I know in my network who are going to help me to help you steer this car in the proper direction. Because everybody, last time I spoke with, you know, last time I heard or checked, I think we all dream about being like the best that we can, having the most money, having the most of whatever, the most success. I know we all dream about it, but we're not living out those dreams. Like that's not a reality for a lot of people. So if you're spending your time dreaming about doing better, now let's connect with me or somebody like myself, and now let's put the plan and let's execute. So holla at me if you need me. If it's just 15 minutes, so be it. If you are willing to give me more, I will be thankful, and I'm going to give you more. So you give more, I give more. It's going to go back and forth. I'm going to make sure you stay on point. And if you don't, and there's something that I can't provide, let me know. I'm going to keep upping my game so I can be of better service to all the people that I connect with, my clients that I currently serve, and the clients who have yet to join me in the Build Wealth movement. So the last thing I want to say is, if you want to get more inside of my brain about how I think and what I see and what I experience as a financial planner, head over to YouTube. The link is actually in my bio. It's my Build Wealth observations. These were diary entries that I made over, I don't know, at least some of them are like 10 years old. Others are more recent. And I'm going to keep kind of sharing these stories because what I see is that people ain't listening to me. But I think when you hear these stories, and these are real stories about like people I've seen or encountered or, personal stuff. And I think once you hear more of these stories, you're going to be able to relate to something that I've shared. It's either going to be speaking to you directly or you're going to actually know somebody who fits the exact description. I guarantee that's going to happen. So the Build Wealth Observations is on my YouTube channel. Just take a listen. They're all, I think the longest one maybe 3 minutes, maybe. Like they're all short and to the point. And I'm just going to keep sharing with the world what I'm experiencing. And then maybe you'll holler at me. All right, everybody. I'll catch you next time.